How the heck are you guys? I am Fastidious. I am not alone today. I am joined by a player, a viewer, one of y'all, Mr. Hantuyx. How are you today, Mr. Hanty?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Yeah, it's great to have you. For people that don't know you, which is probably a lot, some people might recognize the name, the username, Hantuyx, Hantuyx, Hantuyx. We're going to call you Hanty. You're on my Discord, and you were one of the top 5 winners from the Epic Challenge, and you actually kept going, and you have the greatest Epic free-to-play account in the history of Watcher Realms right now. I think that's pretty fair to say. I know some of your accomplishments, not all, but if we go over here, I'm logged into the account, obviously, by the way. We're on day 182, so you played it just about exactly 6 months, like right on the nose. And you've kind of beaten the game, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's a couple stages left and tied, but it's kind of, those stages aren't as interesting.
But yeah, I think this is going to be, I don't want this video to be too long, just really a showcase, just because this is such an accomplishment. We also have a brand new challenge starting tomorrow for anyone who wants to participate. So this turned into you absolutely destroying the Wreck It with Epics, and then we did the follow-up, Still Wrecking, which ended when you beat Gear Raids 21, Gear Raid 1, 2, and 3. You and Andrew both did that. I can't figure out exactly when these were filled in, but I know I ended the competition when you guys had both done it, which was sometime beginning middle November, which is very impressive, right? Because the challenge started at the beginning of August. So we're talking about September, October, November. It's like just over 3 months with Epics, no money spent, nothing. You guys both maxed out all the gear raids, but we do have a new challenge coming. So let me show people over here. You can go to the challenge button. This is gonna be the 3 to play challenge. You think you're gonna participate again?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Awesome. So yeah, this will have its own scoring system and everything, and hopefully this can demonstrate right now in this video, this showcase, what everything that's going to be possible, right? So you can see we already have 110 people signed up with 14 creators. Very, very exciting. And yeah, you'll be allowed to use, including Volca, 3 other legendaries in this. That's the 3 and the 3 to play. But for this guy over here, you had to just use, you could use Volca, you could use Micah, and you can use Abomination and Salazar. Those are like the permanent fusions that happened during it. But aside from that, man, you were cooking with only the lower rarity stuff. So let's make the screen a little smaller. Let's do a tour. Where shall we begin? Should we go to best records, or what do you think?
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
Yeah, best record's probably a good place to start, just to see an overview of everything. And just one more thing also.
Please.
A knit. I got to use a knit also.
Oh, you beat the init missions?
Yeah, I beat that a couple months ago.
Okay, so see, I didn't even. So that, how crazy is that, guys? Epic's only free-to-play challenge. He got in it a couple months ago. When do you think you got in it?
I actually maybe a month ago. Maybe in December.
But in way less than half a year, like about 4 or 5 months, you got in it, free-to-play, Epic's only.
Yep. Just had to push those really hard because it was huge for the boss content.
Yeah. So your gear's probably insane because that one of those last missions is leveling up the 100 pieces of gear.
Oh, yeah. Well, at that point, I had enough gold. I just wasted it on crap gear to level up. But, I mean, my gear is really, really good. Like, I'm level 92, and most of that is from
gear
farming the 21s.
Yeah, I actually was going to comment on that. Maybe that's where we should start. So if you guys don't know, the way you push your level is by expending stamina, by using your little energy lightning bolts. And I had a feeling you would be progressing faster because a lot of us are unloading our diamonds for summons, but you probably have every single epic A5 or anyone you would ever need. You only have a couple legendaries you're even allowed to work with, the free ones. So what else can you do, right? So you just probably tons and tons of stamina.
Yeah, like I spent some diamonds on summoning, but like almost none. So pretty much everything I got went directly into more stamina.
Yeah, it looks like you've done about 2,519 summons. All right, that's awesome. So let's take a little peek. Level 92, that is crazy. I only hit level 100 a couple months ago. Obviously, it gets slower and slower at the end, but very, very impressive for 6 months. All right, let's take a little peek. You told me you beat a couple new things today as well, so I'm excited to see that. Wow, 50K APOP 2, is that what you were talking about?
No, I did that a couple weeks ago.
Really?
If you scroll down a little bit, that'll be the fun stuff.
Oh, you beat both gear dungeons.
Yep. That was this week.
That's remarkable. Well, you beat both gear dungeons free to play epics only and the freebie legendaries.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So what was the last one? Was it Gear Dungeon 2, I'm guessing?
No, it's Gear Dungeon 1. Really difficult without anti-heal or Valk. So had to make do with crazy gear.
That's awesome. Okay, so you really did. I would say this is beating the game. I mean, what else is there, right? Yeah. I mean, there's little PvP things. Obviously, there is, pushing that Go Boss 2, which would be kind of crazy to see how high it could go, but you do get hero capped with that. I don't think you could. I think you could have my test server gear and every resource in the game. I don't think you could get 120k.
No, not even close. I think like potentially if I had like the best gear possible in the game, like all yellow rolls, I could maybe get 80, but like that's it. Just without having a debuff cleanser like Kagiri or Lucius, it's just super difficult.
Really interesting to see you didn't bring Volca, because I guess for 50k you don't need as much of the damage mitigation, and you probably just were so desperate for DPS you couldn't afford to bring her, I'm guessing.
Or Annette fills that role. He's got good damage debuff now.
Yeah, he got his buff, his rework. Okay, yeah, of course, makes perfect sense. That's crazy. So you guys can see that actually blows my mind. I didn't know you had beaten both of these. I remember I saw a month or two ago you beat 1-9, and that looked very impressive. I think maybe what we should do, let's save the gear for the end so people have something to look forward to. Should we just it will obviously be on auto, so it's going to be a little different, but we can just see how you did it, right? If we just throw on that Gear Dungeon 110.
Yeah, I mean, might need to throw the gear on.
Oh, are people ungeared?
For the character.
Okay,
yeah,
give me one second.
Yeah.
Okay, he had very beautifully crafted gear plans for everything. Thank you, Hanti. So you guys can see it's all been applied. You were saying how specific some of this gearing was. You have some pretty funky stuff, like Olag, where he is wearing this Wings of Grace set over here and stuff.
Yeah, need the extra damage, and I mean, not all of it's even tankier for Olag. I just had to do the best with what I had.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is quite the accomplishment. If anyone else in the entire world has done this, it's like very single digits, I would say. All right, so the beginning looks pretty normal. You put Olag down to tank at the beginning, Iona for DPS, and Greed to get slows. I'm assuming you're going to pick up Olag in a little bit. The gear on this Iona must be crazy. We'll check that after. Keep in mind, guys, we have to say, this is an auto run, so it's Power of Dominance. But as you were saying, the RNG of this is crazy, right?
Yeah, really depends. The Iona and Greed gear were just at the cusp of being good enough. So sometimes the last guy would just barely not die. So
we can't really afford to have me do this manually and you coach me through it. So obviously it's going to look a lot easier now with POD, but this is how you beat it, which is pretty remarkable.
And we'll see if it works. The rage regen might be slightly thrown off because they kill guys quicker.
Gotcha. I just want to point out a couple things to the viewers. So you put Hollow back here, pretty interesting, but does make perfect sense. This is pretty interesting with Raiden over I don't like that. When I click on it, it's not super slumming, but Raiden over here. So we're going to have to rely on very consistent shielding from Vortex, but that's a clever way to do it. I'm curious what you're going to do with these guys. I'm assuming it's going to be something with Gluttony. Then we got Aeon here for slows and all that kind of stuff. Look how tight that is still. And actually, the timing got thrown off. That's a bummer. The timing got thrown off because we were killing too fast. So this is such a big annoying thing, I've got to say. We're getting the sense of it though, and very impressive. This just drives me nuts in Watcher of Realms. It's like you beat it, and now it's like, oh, you really, especially for gear dungeons, Gear Raid 4 and 5, Stage 10, you have to re-beat it. Because for anyone that doesn't know what just happened, because we had POD on, your Iona was too strong. Your Iona was killing too fast. Maybe actually we can try this quickly. I can break the set or something. Look at this.
Yeah, you could also just try it out without POD. I mean, a guy or two might get through, but
you can't. No, because I would have to do it, man. No, yeah, you auto battles. I wish that was a thing. You can't do auto battles without POD, so I would have to do it manually, and I can't imagine I'm getting this on my first or second try.
Yeah,
let's try a piece like this. So we break the set, we lose some stats, but should still be good. We'll see if that helps. But yeah, it's really frustrating because, so again, to anyone who what just happened, that wasn't clear. Your Iona was killing so fast, she didn't have people living long enough to get out more hits to build more rage. So she was late on her ult, and it threw off the timing of the entire run. So hopefully, breaking the set, but having the POD and the good stats, she'll still be able to do it now. We'll see. But I do like that strat here. This is not something I've personally done because Does your Raiden have a little tankiness on him, or he's just getting consistent shields enough from Vortex?
No, I mean, he's got like a very, very small amount of HP bonus, and it's just enough to let him survive.
That probably was a little balancing act, right?
All right.
It's still...
yeah. There's a bit...
It is what it is, I think. I don't think we're going to be able to tweak it properly.
I mean, but that's the gist of it. There's like some small nuances.
Well, maybe tell us just quickly. I'm assuming I don't know. I'm assuming Gluttony comes over here at some point and starts chomping.
Yeah. Gluttony goes right over there, and he can take care of all of them by himself with Hollow healing him and giving him some rage regen.
I see. Because Hollow's here, right? So she's able to cover. You're putting Gluttony here. Yeah. Nice. Cool. He goes
very
unique. I actually think maybe we could talk about it. This probably could be adapted to be a very free-to-play way to beat it. This is a very clever strategy, and especially if we don't use all epics, make it a little more relatable for people. But I think the crux of what you did here is very nice.
Yeah. And then one other small thing to note is that Aeon is built like super ridiculously tanky, as much as I could, so that she could survive. Because like she gets attacked by the archers, and they deal a lot of damage. Yeah. So you have to time her ult also, so that they, only attack her once.
Yeah, she's getting the Unshaken Will too. You've clearly done a lot of farming to be able to get this stuff. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Get the HP really as high as possible for the artifact, the title ring. I guess it really doesn't matter. I guess one way you could compensate is you could something like this. You get a bigger flat HP contribution, which is maybe how you did it originally.
No, well, I used this and it was just enough. It would have been better to have the higher one, but the other thing I have maxed out was the Unfortunate Skull, which would make her take more damage.
Oh, that's actually a very good point. Yeah, I forgot it has that additional, damage received is increased, not just the damage dealt. I'm curious. Yeah, you've kind of farmed exactly to with the extent you felt like you needed on these artifacts. So we'll do a tour of the artifacts and the gear in a second, but I do want to show a couple of these other builds because I'm assuming this Gear Dungeon 1, these builds are some of the best builds you can make on your account, since this was the hardest thing for you.
Yeah, so absolute best. This was done like 2 days ago. So
amazing. Okay, so
this is as good as I have.
If people want a little behind the scenes, we've been going back and forth on trying to find the right time to film this for 2 months probably. So I'm glad it took us this long, right?
Yeah, it's kind of perfect. Right after I beat
you kind of beat the game,
the important levels.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Okay, so let's put on the real Iona gear. And I noticed this piece. I have a bangle that's maybe this much better than this piece on my account that I brag about constantly. I got it like 2 weeks ago. This piece is like almost that good, and you got it 6 months free to play, epics only. So people really, if you grind and if you just say, hey, what if I don't summon all the time? You can really push content if you know what you're doing, right? That's kind of the moral of the story here.
Yeah, I think, and also I see people online complaining like, oh, I just can't get good gear. Like the answer is always you need to farm more. Like the probability of getting good gear is small, so you need a ridiculous number of runs to really like guarantee that you're going to get good stuff.
Totally. Like you really it almost feels like I paid you to say that or something. Like it's crazy because people are like, I can't beat 119, my gear's not good enough. And I'm like, yeah, well then get better at the game, find a better strategy, or if you really are stuck, what's the answer? You farm 118. Like, it's what you have to do. Like, yeah, is it going to be boring and you're going to spend a lot of stamina for just a couple pieces, but it will be enough. We all did it. It's not like you're missing the one thing that no one else is. Like, I know it sounds like harsh, but like, it's all there for you. Like, you need to farm 116 or 315. Like, yeah, it blows, but you can get it over time. So the higher levels, it's all a tiny chance. The tiny chance gets a little larger, but just quantity of runs breeds quality of gear. And this is just the ultimate proof. I mean, your gear is as good as many, many endgame whale accounts I've been on that just pull when you just did run, right?
Yep.
So this is pretty sweet. Got flat attack on everything. This is pretty spicy. This, you even ditched the crit rate. Are your crit rolls that big? Yeah, I mean, this piece 27.
No, they're pretty good. And Iona also gets the extra 8%.
Yeah, she gets the 8% from A4, and she gets 3%. So this is even overkill because she gets 3% from being a cultist. So you actually have her here at 103.5%. So pretty spicy. Yeah, this is great, right? But you made it.
And then I will say also, I had HP bonus on the breastplate because she needed just a little extra HP to not die.
This is really something. Yeah, this attack at almost 17k on an epic with 3600 base. I wish you had a mage like Kriya built so we could move the gear over so people could see how that scales, because it'd be over 20k. So that's pretty spicy.
Yeah.
Let's check out. Yeah, 413 attack speed, pretty dang high without really prioritizing it. No rage regen, but yeah, attack absolutely through the roof. Very good crit damage, crit cap. Excellent build. Any other key builds you want us to highlight to show off some of the best gear on the account so people can get a sense? Maybe let's check out your Dolores.
I mean, this is a very good set. Yeah.
Yeah, this is better than my Wings of Grace. There's a little RNG in that, right? But yeah, I'm missing a Bangle with a flat attack. I've actually got a huge roll in my ring, and then I've got something. This is really nice though. That's big HP roll too. Pretty dang sweet. And then this is amazing, 27%. And then look at that, 581 with 24. This is like a proper endgame Dolores. 14-4, maxed out Scarab, a little tankiness, actually more than a little.
Yeah, I mean, the Wings of Grace with her exclusive is just like so necessary when you're trying these stages over and over and over again. Like, it would have been such a nightmare to have to worry about the Dolores rolls too.
Yeah, no, when I do takeovers now in Guild Boss 1, I will put this on even if it means she's going to have a little less attack and they don't have a set. Just that 20% is everything for your sanity.
Yeah,
that's about as good a Dolores as I've seen, I think. Like, including, like, you know, all the accounts. I'm sure there are people in, like, Mad with Dolores's this level or only slightly better. And then, obviously, there's some that have perfection. But, I mean, this is like an endgame Dolores. Very good. Who else should I check out? This Hollow looks pretty nice. Oh,
it's kind of whatever, but I would look at Greed and Raiden.
Okay, yeah, nice. Again, quad substats with that flat attack. Again, quad substats. And then this one, quad, but instead of flat attack, you got the Rage Gen. Yeah, this is pretty incredible. Soulbound Arcana. Only 6 months, free to play, epics only, guys. There's a little Nocturne exclusive, which is just crazy stats. And then I hate you for this.
At piece, yeah.
I don't have anything like this on my account. And I've
got another one that's almost this good too.
Yeah, well, that kind of goes to show you. I mean, you've probably farmed your absolute tush off, but part of this, there is a luck element, right? Like, I think I've done something like, I've done over 1,000 crafts in the left side forge, right? And I don't even have, let alone these stats, I don't have a single piece with these substats that has dropped yet.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. I guess there's a lot of RNG, but I have like 5 or 6 stored up that at least have the substats.
I don't have a single one. But that's actually, I also misspoke. I said 1,000. I'm at 2,000 now because my original was 1,300. See, I'm at about 2,000. I haven't got a single one, but you literally do have 4 or 5.
5.
That gets counting the one you're wearing. Congrats, must feel good. But yeah, remarkable, beautiful.
Yeah, the thing with those forges is Wicked Vengeance with these substats is probably like the best set in the game. But since you said you only have like 1,000 or 2,000 rolls at it, like. There's going to be a lot of variance in that because that's not that big of a sample size. So
yeah, totally.
It's more about luck.
Yeah, it kind of does drive me nuts. Like, part of it is my first big session I ever did. I did 13,000 of each, right? Which I think comes out to 20. Is that right? No, that's like 1,300 pieces. Okay, so maybe I have done less than 2,000. Maybe between like a little more than 1,000. So I did the math wrong. So that makes me feel a little better. But yeah, I got nothing, like no weapons, nothing. So it just that's life, I guess. Amazing though, beautiful stuff. Any final things we should take a peek at here?
Yeah, just look at Raiden's. I don't think his is like that crazy, but it's good too.
Oh, this is that. I would say this is that crazy. You got 2 with the pretty nice flat attack, and then this one, even though the roll's bad, at least it's HP bonus. Really incredible quad here. Ridiculous crit damage. Have you tried refining this?
Yeah, I tried doing the attack speed, but it never goes up.
Never. True story. This one's crazy. Yeah, so you guys can just see, I mean, that's 3 full endgame Soulbound Arcana sets in just less than 6 months. Really, really good forge gear. You pushed it all. Obviously, you were at a slight advantage, if you want to say, because you didn't have to feel the pressure to summon, right? You only did 2,500 summons only. But like a lot of people can do this, right? I'm part of. Sometimes it's boring, right? There probably were weeks where all you did was farm gear A3, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would say weeks, maybe a couple months where all I'm doing is farming stages, and it gets really annoying when you farm this much because auto fights just disappear. Just gotta tap it over and over and over again.
Yeah, but crazy.
That's what you need to do to get good gear.
Yeah. Yeah, sweat it out. Yeah, I mean, let's not take away. You're kind of nuts for this, right? But you still did it, and people can still do it.
Yeah, they can do it, and you don't have to do it in 6 months.
You know? You could
probably take a little longer.
So think of it this way, people, right? You did this in 6 months, hyper-focused just on stamina. Imagine this was a normal account. You could have had half of that focus on stamina, half of that focus on summons. So you'd probably be at 6,000 summons or 5,000 summons. In a year's time, if you have to focus, then you would be even to the stamina. So you should get here in a year while still summoning like a normal person, right? I think that's a pretty fair conversion. So you could be at your 7, 8, 10,000 summons and get this amount of stuff, but you actually have to do it. You actually have to farm the stuff and push the stuff. And yeah, maybe it'll take some people a little over a year because they're not going to get to the high efficiency clears as fast as you did. But a lot of people, especially if they spend money or they get good legendaries, can do it faster. So, how easily would you be Gear Dungeon 1 if you had Lyseer, right? Or Artemis?
Yeah. I don't know, maybe easier. I guess it's hard to imagine just because, like with my comp, I don't know. Oh. It probably would have been easier. I don't know how much easier.
It would have been easier. Actually, I mean, to be fair, though, because you had to use the epic tanks then. All right, but if you had like Brokir, Lyseer, and Valkyra, okay? How about that?
Yeah. Okay.
Which a lot of people would have in 6 months of normal summoning. Not everybody, but you can just imagine.
Yeah.
I do want to ask you before I let you go about PvP, because people are going to want to know, what's your best arena? I saw you have an avatar. I've never bought any of these avatars, so I don't know, how far you need to get for this? How far have you gone?
You're
in Plat 3
usually,
right now?
Yeah, I end every week Plat 3, pretty much.
Okay.
I hit Overlord once for a couple minutes, and then I got knocked out, because, you just can't make... Though? No, it was close to reset, but like a couple hours before. It's just, I have to be so selective with who I attack at that range, just because you can't make that good of teams, these characters.
So let's actually see the teams you run. So yeah, single target makes sense. You run an Elysia team, but no other arbiters. It's actually somewhat surprising. But
I mean, I don't
actually
have any
it's
other
not.
arbiters.
Sorry, I lost. No, you have Init.
Oh yeah, that's true. I could use him, but Micah's a lot better for this.
Micah's kind of spicy. Micah's pretty underrated, right? Once you have to use her.
I don't know. I personally feel like she kind of sucks.
Really?
I feel like she always does less damage than I would hope. Like, I even have mine A5, and like she does pretty good, but I feel like she should be better.
You got her in an interesting build here. What was this for with Invig?
I think that's what Volca usually wears for Guild Boss 1.
Gotcha.
I don't know if he has that on. That's not what she uses for single target.
No, for sure. Okay, nice. Yeah, this is nice little Nightmare comp here, and then anti-air you're running with Lunaria and these guys. Who would you say was the MVP of your account?
I guess I would probably have to go Estrid, just because like I didn't use her as much later on, but she just helped clear so much stuff early on that it made it easier to progress to everything.
Yeah. Actually, that's a great transition to how I wanted to end. Well, I will say when I did this, so when it was just the 1 month, that's when we were both in the top 5 together, and then you and Andrew and some guys kept pushing on and doing amazing stuff, and I very much stopped after like another month because I didn't have the bandwidth. But Estrid was for sure my MVP. Like the AoE defense breaks, it's like it's so hard to hit the stats you need to progress through stuff, and she makes it possible. I was actually thinking the way we could end this, maybe I'll throw the gear on, and maybe this run will hold, because that'd be pretty fun to watch, I think. Should we do that really quick?
Yeah, go for it. There's a good chance it'll hold.
I think so, right? Because I'm guessing I know how you're going to deal with the phantoms on the bottom, right? With some unkillability, right? Unyielding delay moments.
Actually, no.
Really?
None of that happening, no. I tried to get that to work, but I couldn't.
Yeah, it's really hard on 10. I've done it through 9. So you're going to do like some cycling with Wrath and Baron or something like that? Or no?
Mm-mm.
Okay, we're going to see. All right, give us a second. All right, we just went through your gear plans. Hantuyx, put everything on. I hope this holds. There could be some interesting time. And I realized as I was going through, I was like, no, of course you dealt with the bottom with Borit, which I still need to make that video. He's such a god. So you guys will see that here. But here's going to be, I'm assuming, our very fast and tanky Borit. Yeah, look at this tank. Look at this Borit. 67k on this Borit. Pretty remarkable. So let's head in. There is a chance he could get thrown off with Volca or Estrid, whoever you use on the bottom, but I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Let's check this out. So it looks, you beat this a good while before Gear Dungeon 1, right?
Not a good while.
Okay.
I think I beat it 2 weeks ago, maybe. Or
wow, really good thing we waited then.
Yeah. Perfect timing.
People can see already, Bor, every time he ults, he can already do his pushback thing. He should get another push right here. Okay, cool. So we're definitely not going to get thrown off here. So you're doing Estrid with Baron over there. Baron's in a Wings of Grace. That's why he's pointed back at Estrid. Estrid should be on some nice cleanup crew. Interesting thing you were telling me about, right? You can't do any cycling, right? Because these guys just have lower HP. So
yeah. I mean, do a little, just the cycling
minimal.
That I have to with the money. But everybody else, like when I place Ein, he never comes off the field.
Look at that, Amani. To be fair, the reason that looks so easy is because of POD, but that's pretty amazing. It is good gear on Amani, don't get us wrong. But she's just getting the attribute bonus from Pyros. That was probably pretty hard to get going, to get her picking them off from this spot, right?
Yeah, it's very tight. And also sometimes the archers will hit her sometimes, but sometimes not. So I just had to keep restarting until they didn't hit her.
I wonder what changes that RNG.
I don't know.
It's pure randomness.
I think it is.
So,
just
wait,
pure
who was
randomness.
that there? Sorry. That was... Who do we just have here?
There? Well, Ein's just up there the whole time.
Okay. I thought I saw something. Oh, I guess it was just the blessing. Someone got through. Doesn't really matter. Because we just want to show you how the run works. But you can see totally cleaning up. Pretty fun. Okay, it fell apart at the end. Of course it did. Jeez. Of course it did. You guys get it. Ein running the middle, Amani taking that top left spot, picking off to the side. Estrid always down, Ein always down, Volka always down. Really fun run. Borit handled it like a champ at the bottom. He's who I thought could maybe go wrong, and he didn't. So that's really fun. Crazy stuff, man. I think this is one of the biggest accomplishments I've seen in Watcher of Realms. So bravo to you. Really cool stuff. You think you're going to stick with this account, or you think that this is a natural conclusion?
Yeah, it feels like a natural conclusion. New challenge is starting tomorrow morning. And I'm pretty much did everything I set out to do. So, yeah, probably not going to play it anymore.
I would say, yeah. I mean, you know what the final thing we should do? Let's just look at all the legendaries you didn't use, huh? We didn't do that yet. Wow, I just saw 2 Hex. Yeah, like just again, for anyone who doesn't know, the new challenge is coming tomorrow. We have tons of cash prizes. We got charity. There'll be another video featuring the winners. It should be a really, really fun thing. We got a bunch of creators participating as well. So definitely check that thing out. And yeah, let's see. Who did you have to not use? Eris, great hero. Ardia, Constance, double Hex. We got some other nice stuff here. Leia, you pulled a beautiful Leia, a Lord. Valderon, holy crap. Twyla, you got all these Salazar. So you never used Salazar? Oh no, because those are dupes. You can't use them as awakenings. That was part of the rules. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, correct.
Pharisee, he would have helped you through Go Bust too, huh? Lugaru, Morrigan, Torador. Dude, this is a war crime. You know, it took me 6,500 summons to get a second legendary lord, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there even more? 5. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, Torador's from the pack, but yeah, all of the others.
Fair enough. Yeah, pretty crazy stuff. Comet, Lucius, really amazing heroes. Well, congratulations, dude. This was awesome, amazing work. I do want to talk to you about that Gear Dungeon 1. I think we should maybe make a guide trying to find good, like more accessible legendary heroes, lower the gear requirement a bit, because that was a pretty cool strat.
Yeah. Thank you, Amani. Amani does all the work because she can handle the magic clones on both sides. So that's the trick.
Yeah. Amani, I was talking about Gear Dungeon 1, but the Gear Dungeon 2 is really good too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, that's who I was talking about when I saw someone disappear on the top right. You had quickly placed Amani. Oh. She deleted that magic clone at 3.5x or 3.0 so fast I didn't catch it.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Actually, I should mention the reason you have the Priv card is because of the compensation they sent us, right? Yeah. And I just got that the last 2 months because I was like, well, all I can do now is farm gear. I have pretty much all the gear. Fair enough. Okay, so like the slightest break in the free to play, but for the smallest amount of money, so you guys can absolutely do the same as you.
Yeah, and again, it would just take a little longer.
Yeah, to speed up the race to the finish. All right, thank you, Hanti. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions or you just want to say congrats or how impressed you are, I don't blame you. You can let us know in the comments. Thank you. Share with your mother. See you guys soon. Bye.
Fastidious.